Good evening. Welcome to the Township of Howell Planning Board meeting for Thursday, March 6th, 2025. Eileen, opening statement, please.
I hereby declare this meeting of the Howell Township Planning Board to be open pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act in the following manner. First, on January 3rd, 2025, a copy of said notice was emailed to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger. Second, on January 3rd, 2025, a copy of said notice was hand-delivered to the clerk of the Township of Howell. Third, on January 3rd, 2025, said notice was posted in the office of the Planning Board and on the bulletin board in the Howell Township Municipal Building, 4567 Route 9, Howell Township, New Jersey. In accordance with the Fire Prevention Code and your safety, please be advised that this facility is designed with 2 emergency exits at the front and rear of the meeting room. Furthermore, smoking is not permitted in the municipal building. Please take note that this meeting is being videotaped for possible future broadcast on Howell Township TV 77. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cristiano?
Present.
Mr. Greenfield, I have not heard from. Mr. Carbonic?
Present.
Mr. Mercer, I have not heard from. Mr. Tannenhouse, I have not heard from. Mr. Rebel,
Here.
Councilman Nadell,
Here.
Mayor Leggio,
Here.
Mr. Beto.
Here.
Mr. Withers has resigned, in case anybody didn't know, and Chairman Husser.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and afterwards, a moment of silence for our men and women who served both here and abroad. Thank you. Okay, Eileen, approval of any minutes?
I have no minutes this evening.
Okay, and any correspondence?
Yes, correspondence. I have an email from the Deputy Manager, Mr. Howard, asking to carry the application for Howell Township for a subdivision. They would like that application to be carried to March 20th with no further notice.
Okay.
And that was a noticed application.
Okay. Ron, you want to make that announcement, or is there one?
Okay, so the application of Howell Township, case number SD 3019C1, be carried to the board's March, you said 20th?
20th.
March 20th, 2025 meeting. It is a live meeting beginning 7 o'clock here at Town Hall. There'll be no further notice to property owners.
Thank you. I also have a letter from Attorney Jared Pape, who is also in the audience. He's asking that the application for Benzion Young Grease LLC, case number SD 3016, be adjourned and carried to April 3rd, 2025 with no further notice.
Mr. Pape, did you want to address the board?
Good evening, board members. As Ms. Urbano mentioned, just here on behalf of the applicant to make the request for adjournment to allow for some time for revised plans based on some feedback we received from the board professionals. So that's the reason for the request.
Got it. Thanks, Jared.
So the application of Benzion Young Grease LLC, case number SD 3016, be carried to the board's April 3rd, 2025 meeting. It is a live meeting beginning 7 o'clock here in the main meeting room at Town Hall. There will be no further notice to property owners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We also have 3 ordinances that were introduced by the council on Tuesday, and they're up for public hearing and adoption on March 18th, which is before our next meeting. So we need to discuss them for consistency with the master plan. I sent them to everybody this morning.
Good evening, Jennifer.
Yes, so ordinance number 2509, an ordinance amending chapter 188 land use article 1, title, purpose, definitions, section 4, entitled Definitions and Rules of General Applicability of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Howell. This is adding, okay, so I'm going to give you a global situation. We, in our last master plan, had recommended that the township look into ways to accommodate the farms having these events and things like that and how they were regulated. So it's taken a bit of time, but this is the definitions of all those different farm events, which is consistent with the master plan. So I would request that the board find that this ordinance 2509 is consistent with the town's master plan, and that it get memorialized and sent back to the governing body.
Any questions? Okay. Can it be a question? Or do you want to take an adjournment?
So there would just be a motion that find it substantially consistent.
Mayor Leggio has a question.
Oh, sure, go
But
ahead,
Sure.
go ahead.
For Mr. Cucchiaro,
Yes.
I don't know if we should privately or you want me to make it public.
Oh, I don't know.
This past council meeting, I abstained from this 9, 10, and 11.
Mhm.
These ordinance, as per our attorney in town. And
You abstained or recused?
I abstained, right, Ian? Abstained. I abstained. It went through. The rest of the council voted yes. Okay, I abstained as per a recommendation from our counsel, our lawyer, and obviously I support this. I believe it's consistent. I read it. We've been doing it for 2 weeks. But should I abstain again?
I don't know the reason why she instructed you to abstain, so without understanding what the context was, sort of out of an abundance of caution, I'd recommend taking the same action, but I'm sort of at a disadvantage because I don't know, what generated that advice.
So your suggestion is I just abstain?
My suggestion is, because I don't know, if I knew all the facts, I may not have that recommendation, but not knowing why it is that she instructed you to abstain, I would say to abstain again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the,
Gentlemen, any questions? Okay, do I have a motion that this is substantially consistent with our master plan?
I will make motion that this is substantially consistent with our master plan.
Mr. Cristiano, do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Adele?
Mr. Cristiano?
Yes.
Mr. Carbonic?
Yes.
Mr. Revelle?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Beto?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, ordinance 2510 is along the same lines, is the actual standards put into the ordinance in terms of the definitions, the requirements, the size of the events, hours of operation, all those things. But again, we did recommend that the township council look into regulating these events. And so it is consistent with the master plan, and I would respectfully request a resolution affirming that.
Okay. Any questions, gentlemen? Okay, again, I'll take a motion.
Motion that is consistent with the master plan?
Mr. Cristiano, do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Adele?
Mr. Cristiano?
Yes.
Mr. Carbonic?
Yes.
Mr. Revelle?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Lastly, ordinance 2511 basically identifies the ARE zoning districts, the 2 through 6 zoning districts where this will be permitted. So again, it's consistent with the master plan.
Questions? Again, I'll take a motion.
Make motion that it's consistent with the master plan.
Mr. Cristiano, do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Adele?
Mr. Cristiano?
Yes.
Mr. Carbonic?
Yes.
Mr. Revelle?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's all the correspondence I have.
All right, thanks, Eileen. Okay, resolutions. First is a review of proposed ordinance number O-25-07, a resolution deeming proposed ordinance consistent with the master plan. Eligible voters, Mr. Carbonic, Mr. Rebel, Councilman Nadell, Mayor Leggio, Mr. Beato, and myself. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Rebel, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Carbonic?
Mr. Carbonic?
Yes.
Mr. Rebelle?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Mr. Beto?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolutions memorialized.
Thank you. And the next is for case number SP-1108, Howell Crossing LLC. This is a resolution granting preliminary and final major site plan. Eligible voters, Mr. Cristiano, Mr. Carbonic, Mr. Rebel, Mayor Leggio, and myself. Do I have a motion?
I'll make motion.
Mr. Cristiano, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Carbonic?
Mr. Cristiano?
Yes.
Mr. Carbonic?
Yes.
Mr. Rebelle?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolutions memorialized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to submission waivers. This is for case number SD-3018, Carmine Caruso, for a minor subdivision.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
We just recently received word from the applicant's attorney that they intend to submit everything on the checklist, so they're no longer requesting any submission waivers.
Oh, great, okay.
Right along.
We'll get you home to watch The Bachelor, don't worry. I don't know if that's on tonight. All right, so, skipping that. So our only application this evening, case number SP-1123, SMC Properties LLC. This is for preliminary and final major site plan with ancillary variance and design waiver relief. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members
Before
of
we
the board.
start, just give me 1 minute. so I can pull up that. No, this is the last one.
So, you're going to get the resolution, and then that's what we do. It doesn't usually call it out here, it's in your email, what we're going to do. You don't have to.
Oh, yeah. Here's that Gil, 3 months now. That's a killer.
You didn't get anything recently?
They gotta get rid of him. He's gotta go. I mean, you like the guy, but he's gotta go.
You might have to, like, go through the process to activate the email,
And, so,
so you're not getting anything?
Stan, oh, he is playing?
Other thing you can do is this. If you go online, pull up the agenda online.
Oh, Johnny, if you wanna just, get started with your introductions.
I would love to,
Yeah.
but when the board secretary says, wait,
I understand.
Sorry.
that's what I do.
I
I'm sorry.
understand.
I know who's really in charge here. Thank you. I just have Mr. DeFalco here, I have my client here.
Oh,
and
good,
then,
thank you.
Mr. Ray is on his way. But fortunately, I had an opportunity to discuss the matter briefly with your board's professionals. And since the last hearing, Mr. DeFalco went out on site, had a meeting, and I think we've worked through all of the concerns that the board professionals had. The updated plans have minor tweaks to the landscaping, minor tweaks to the berming in the back, and a slightly different angle on the entry and exit onto Highway 33 in accordance with what the board professionals have requested. And the big thing is that we have agreed to a 60-40 split where indoor recreation would be no more than, we're going to have trade contracting no more than 60%, indoor recreation no more than 45. What did I get? I keep 55 and 40. Well, it's going to be 55 and 45. So we have trade contractors 55 and 45 for indoor recreation, which I think is even better than the split that Ms. Beam had recommended and Mr. Cachero as well. So with that said, I think we're complete.
Yeah.
If you'd like to make me, have me ask a lot of long and tedious questions, and
No, that was the outstanding issues, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think, Laura, do you have anything else outstanding? Because for me, that 60-40 split
That was
was
huge.
the last piece of information
Yep.
that I needed.
The only thing I would just ask Mr. DeFalco, we prepared an updated technical engineering review. You agree to comply?
I'll just, Mr. DeFalco, I remind you, you remain under oath.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we do. Thank you, Laura.
Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Gentlemen, any questions? Okay. I will open it up to the public, if the public has any questions.
What case are you guys here for?
Ford Road.
It's not happening tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, John, I just want to confirm. So when Laura and I were talking about this 60-40, we said that would comply with the ordinance. This particular split you're proposing is 55-45. Is that what you're proposing permanently, or are you saying you're accepting 60-40, but in this instance, you're going with 55-45?
but we would like the resolution to say 60-40. That
Right,
would be the
that's, all right,
maximum
that's
on
what I
either end.
thought. Okay.
But our particular configuration right now would be
All right,
55
that's
to
fine.
45.
Can I just ask one question? The indoor recreation, what kind of square footage are you looking at?
Mr. DeFalco can answer that. I want to add one thing. There was also no dance. That was a condition as well, right?
Like dance studio?
No dance class.
No dance classes. That was
Dance classes.
no indoor recreation. But Mr. DeFalco, you want to address the,
Yes. I have it here.
No dance.
John, just out of curiosity, why is there no dance?
My question is,
parking,
Oh, okay.
intensity.
Parking.
You have a lot of kids there for a dance
Understood.
class. They all come and the parents are in the, I think
Understood.
that's why you're professionals.
Well, how's that gonna be any different than the indoor rec?
I don't think you should just exclude it indoor rec, personally.
Okay, then we won't.
I wouldn't, because the majority of the time, the parents are like dump and run, man. I mean, I know I was dump and run, so I don't think the parking will become problematic. I think indoor rec is a realistic use for this additional space, because I have seen a ton of these developments that have been existing forever transition from this trade contractor to mostly indoor rec. Like agility training, strength, agility, like whatever. I don't think that's a huge problem. I would not recommend excluding it. Unless you want to come back and visit us. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm very charming.
We'd like to include it.
What
Thank you.
type of sports facilities will there be for indoor rec?
It hasn't been determined, but it could be anything from batting cages to pickleball, it could be anything.
It could be like strength and agility, and like where they just come in and like,
I know sometimes they have like basketball in these facilities too, where you have 20 kids showing up for one game.
they don't
with an
have, this,
overlap of another 20
this is
in there.
not, the space and the roof height is
Okay.
not conducive to
Well, that's why I
actual.
asked- that's why I asked
Right,
about square footage.
it's not conducive to actual gym space.
Okay.
When we say indoor rec, we're talking like a training facility where maybe there's a batting cage, maybe there's turf where they're like running up and down, but there's not enough room and
Not
the
room for
height is not
competitive team
high.
sports?
The
Okay.
roof is not high enough for like an actual gym.
Okay.
You mean for like a basketball court?
It's not high enough.
Wow.
Because the bigger issue you're gonna have as owners is controlling your flex space tenants. Because I can tell you, where I go with my sons all over the place, they're always, we pull into the back or whatever, and the electrician, the plumber, they take up like 4 spots
Yep.
with the truck and trailer, right?
Yep.
But that's on you guys as being strict as owners, that you're not taking up 4 spots, you're not,
Right.
everyone needs to share space. Pallets in the parking lot, because you realize here, we're strict with complying to what you guys.
I'm
have
catching
set.
on. And Mr.
Yeah,
Mayor,
you know.
No outdoor storage, we know that.
And-
Okay, 'cause some towns are lackadaisical on it, and you know timber,
Oh, yeah, it's
it's ridiculous.
It's horrendous,
The place
yeah.
in Marlboro we go to, It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That's why I talk about the
There's pallets
two,
everywhere.
the two games back to back, where they got two games going on at once with 4 teams there with an overlap, and cars are all over the place.
Yeah, and then the trucks are parked in.
This is not like Sportica. I just want to make sure people are aware. This
that's
is not,
different.
No, no,
right?
no,
This is
no,
not,
there's another one in Marlboro that's like the same kind of flex use.
do you know it?
We're hopeful that, you'll see from the architecture,
MSK.
No, we're
The old
having-
CJB.
beautiful. We're
my
having-
client's going to have a reason.
You guys are the owner, not you, the owner, be, real diligent with the.
But it could be like a karate studio, it could be something
Okay,
simple.
Mayor, thank you.
That's all.
The height is
You like
not
the
high
park.
enough because we limited the height in flex to 32 feet.
Answer your question.
You can't, it's not a gym, like, it's not a 40-foot, 50-foot height ceiling. So you're not gonna have volleyball or basketball or those. Could be a lacrosse, strength and agility thing. It could be a karate studio. They don't have tenants, so we don't know, and if it's a problem with the space, obviously, they will come back to us. But the way that, Mr. Jackson, you can correct me 100% if I'm incorrect in speaking, what they're committing to is that no more than 60% of the space will be trade contractor. The balance of space will be permitted uses. Indoor rec is one of the permitted uses. It could be a whole litany of things. But that was where we left off because we were unsure about the split. They've committed to it. So as far as I'm concerned, from a planning point of view, I'm good.
And I believe, to answer the mayor's question, the square footage of the indoor recreation is approximately 8,911 square feet.
But that's 40%. It could be broken up into multiple spaces. Correct?
Pickleball's a big thing,
I agree.
big business right now.
My
For some
daughter,
reason.
my daughter's an orthopedic surgery resident. She says pickleball's one of their best
Yeah,
client referral
Short.
sources.
They're old.
hamstrings, calves.
So I shouldn't take that up?
Don't. Listen, when you retire, you're not pickleballing. Okay.
It's better than tennis, softer.
Well, if you turn on ESPN 3 tonight at 3 a.m., it's all over.
Really?
Yeah, pickleball at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Cornhole.
There you go.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, I'm going to close the public. Obviously, no one's running up. And then, John, anything else?
That's it, Mr.
That's
Chairman.
it?
Thank you.
Okay, you got it. I will entertain a motion. This,
Make a motion.
Mayor Leggio. Do I have
Second.
Mr. Cristiano for the second.
I'm assuming it's to approve, right?
This is to approve, correct?
To approve the project.
Mr. Cristiano?
Yes.
Mr. Korbanick?
Yes.
Mr. Rebel?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
And Chairman Husser.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Can you call me on that, please?
Nice addition to that part of town. Nice raisable. Right? You guys good? I think so.
I'm all for batting cages.
We need the flex space for the contractors.
Jennifer, nothing on master plan, right?
Just so you're aware, an objection has been filed to our position on the affordable housing. We're entering dispute resolution, but the housing element will be our next master plan element, but we have to go through this
Yep.
process, so nothing yet.
Got it.
The state objected to your
The state, no, Fair Share and the
Sorry.
builders objected to every town that challenged the number.
Gotcha.
So that's where we are. And we start the mediation next week, so.
Got it.
Okay.
Good luck.
Ron, any reason for executive
I don't
session?
need luck.
Not this, I'm sorry?
He's fine.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Not this meeting, Mr. Chairman, the next meeting, though.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.